Welcome to 33 Oracle. If you haven't been here before, I welcome you. I'm an intuitive oracle reader and tarot reader. I've taught psychic development for over 5 years. I've studied it for over 20 years. So if you want to book a reading with me, all that information is down below. If you have been here before, thanks for stopping in. I don't do this full time or as much as I used to anymore, but I still like to tap into the collective because I am a collective reader. That is one of my specialties. I could tap into the collective real easy, see where we're at. But also, I've been getting channeled messages that's been needing to come out and get talked about, so that's why I'm here. Welcome to this Gemini new moon where communication is the theme, right? So yeah, lots of talk, lots of communication, lots of expressing how we're feeling, and learning information, learning new things. Today's topic is a little different than most of my collective check-ins. I actually want to talk about timeline jumping and 5D, the fifth dimension, because I've been trying to research more on the fifth dimension, that like the new earth or the collective consciousness is moving into. I am not a professional when it comes to this topic. I'm still learning it myself. But yeah, so I've just had some really cool experiences, and I wanted to share them to see where other people are at on the collective journey as well, and things that I'm noticing entering into this new shift that we're all going through. And yeah, so it's more of like a talk session, then I'm going to throw some cards, right? See what the advice is for the collective. I started noticing this shift back in January. And we had that weird planetary alignment where all the planets lined up, and it was like a once in a decade thing, or however long. I'm sure that played a part. But yeah, so there was a moment where my heart chakra opened, and I had all this pouring out of emotions, realizing that there's people that can't come with me on this new trajectory, and I had to grieve the loss of friendships and people who just can't come with me, for whatever reason that is. They're not meant to, they have their own path to take, and we're all directed where we're meant to be, right? So that was, and once that released, like I was in the shower and my guide had came in really strong. It's like, these people cannot come with you. They're not coming. They're not coming, There's no need to turn back and try. They're just not. And that acceptance allowed me to move on, and releasing. I have timeline shift many times. I know exactly when I am timeline shifting or timeline jumping, or when there's big shifts taking place. I'm very connected. Intuitively, I feel it for days prior to big, shifts, astrology-wise. I feel those. But yeah, January, I stepped into a different frequency. And my life has been ever since that releasing and stepping onto this new trajectory. Everything seems in alignment. And what does alignment look like? Like when it's pure alignment, when it's straight alignment, like synchronicities, right? Things are like the synchronicities I have been seeing are daily back to back, in your face, that you can't deny. Manifestation is quick enough. Like, it's quick, it's instant. You can be thinking about something that's just happening. You need something that's happening. That's why it's so important for us to stay in that higher mindset, releasing anything negative coming our way, trying not to hold on to that, That way we can allow the trajectory to stay. You know, acknowledge what you're feeling, but release it, and then keep on the higher focus, continuously creating. But the synchronicities, you know, I've taught psychic development for 5 years, but I've also studied it since I was 19. I've been developing my psychic. I've had it all my life, but I've been actually developing it since I was 19. I get these things. These things are not new to me at all. But since January, on this new frequency, they're every day, all day long, where they used to be fleeting, but now it's just constant. It's like watching things roll out before it happens, all the time. And telepathic communication is becoming stronger for me, you know, and I'm feeling like this. I'm almost connecting it to like an Atlantean type era or energy that we're stepping into, where our psychic energy, our psychic abilities are increasing tenfold. And I'm just really curious if you guys are feeling this and what is yours. Are you like noticing these things too? Because usually the groups of people we're in, you start to see like the hive mind take place. So it's not just me. That's why we're all connected, right? The hive mind. So I think all of us are, you know, and that goes on to say, I'm nothing special. You know, we're all doing this. We're all connected, and we're all feeling the same way, having the same abilities in different ways. That may, you know, for me, it may come off as clairvoyant, or several psychic senses that I have, but for others, it may be clairaudient. Maybe it's ticking up for you. For others, you're experiencing these new things or new senses that are coming online. So it's pretty exciting, and it's just it's amazing to watch it play out like it is, and I feel really good. I feel like in a very calm space for the first time in a long time. I feel aligned, and that's what alignment feels like. I'm assuming. Like for instance, with synchronicities playing out, I had been talking to my partner for like 2 months, and we, like off and on, we'd have these conversations about long-term goals and what we envision in our future. And I kept going back to saying I want to get a country house and grow trees. I want trees. I want to put a lot of fruit trees in, and different kinds of trees, and a garden, of course, but trees are my main thing. And I kept saying it over and over again. Fruit trees. Because why? Because they give back, and you can feed people, and it's just smart. You can feed the animals, right? Well, we just moved into this place recently, and spring's here, so the trees are blooming, and I started to realize, I looked up one day, I'm like, oh my god, I have a gigantic mulberry tree in my yard. And I got to looking closer, because I have a lot of trees in my yard. I have 6 mulberry trees in my yard. And I've been talking about fruit trees for like 2 months. But it's little things like that, and I can go on. I have a huge list. Actually, I don't, because I cannot even keep up with it. But it's just those things, right? Knowing certain things, all that kind of stuff. Fun. It's fun. But I'm excited. So the 5D, what is the 5th dimension? It's what we're trying to move into. Some people call it the new earth. But really it's a collective conscious. I'm not an expert. Again, I'm still studying this myself. I know that over the years, I know what it is on a psychic level. It's something that I've operated in fleeting moments and in the dream world, in the dreamscape where I have visited the fifth dimension or communicate with people through the dream state or the fifth dimension. But like for it to be in my waking life and to see it playing out on a daily, like I feel like consciously we are integrating more of the 5D aspect for our collective. We're stepping more fully into it, less than the 4D. We still are dealing with 4D matters, 3D matters, but not near as much. It's directly like integrating more of the 50 in the daily life, and I'm seeing it more and more progressively speeding up. So, there is tests, there's things that we're going through. Just be mindful of where your mind goes, right? Be mindful of keeping the bigger picture of that higher vibe and keep pushing forward because it's speeding up. We're really gravitating into the fully 5D, like a lot of us are. I believe, that's my opinion. I'm seeing it all the time. And so allow things to be how they're going to be. And just do your best. Keeping in contact with that higher source or whoever, or your higher self. Staying grounded through these shifts and trying to stay in integrity and in the light is where we want to be. Not trying to get dragged down into the drama of life. We're all in this together. We all have different parts to play. There's no need for jealousy and competitiveness because we're all doing the same things. We just bring different messages, right? We all are pieces to the puzzle. We all bring something to offer. Yeah. So, and it's more like integrating. There's so many people doing this that it's more integrating into how we're to be living. Anyways, and the old baggage can't come. That's why we did all the healing work. I find myself talking about my past a little too much sometimes. Once in a while I get on it, but I do not want to talk about any past hurts or anything anymore because it's done. There's healing's done. It's time to let that go and not to live in those moments, right? So I'm making it a point to not talk about those things and keep it living in my life. Unless it's in a positive way, right? So let's get some advice, right? An oracle. Advice for the collective. With this shift taking place, with these shifts, where we're at. What can we be looking forward to in the near future? Caring connections, right? More centered, focused, more caring connections, more people that care about us and caring about others, more unity. Opening our hearts to being more accepting of people and more caring. Yeah. First chakra, Archangel Michael. So this could be like working on our stability, getting our roots grounded, creating that solid foundation in our lives so that when storms come, we can weather the storms. And as a collective, what do we need to do? We need to root down as a collective group, understand things for what they are, and not just, it's rooting down. It's rooting down collectively. It's building our stronghold and making that, our solid foundation. What is the advice here for the collective? Magic prayer. So to me, when I see this card, this is also opening up the heart chakra, right? All this green here and this coming to life, this energy. And like praying from our hearts, asking for what we need, really feeling somebody, really feeling their energy, really being compassionate, and connecting with our higher self, God, Source, Spirit. And where does that, so that is that spark of divine. It gives us that spiritual nourishment that we're needing, that spark of hope. It's feeling the spirit moving within us and stirring, when we're able to connect to source, to our higher selves with spirit. And allowing the ideas and the downloads to channel and flow. There's education, learning, expanding our consciousness, learning more about what frequency we're stepping into or where we're at, learning about new things. Gemini, and we're in Gemini season now, is all about learning and expanding our consciousness. So right now, if you're feeling pulled to learn something, start doing research. I have been looking up 5D consciousness and learning more about it because I'm getting pulled to. I'm getting pulled to talk about my experiences. And yeah, we're in Gemini season, baby. Start opening a book. Learn something online. What is calling for you to research? Maybe you need to research more about the fifth dimension or frequencies or self-reflection, right? It's like, what is being mirrored to you through this education that you're learning? Maybe it's teaching you about yourself in some aspects. And then the unexpected and assessing. Because you open your mind and you expand, something unexpected may come in for you to look at a little closer, right? For you to zoom in. You might find something unexpected in this information that you're researching that connects you to a missing part of yourself, or it connects you to your next steps on where you need to go. I think those are some good information or good messages here, some advice. And then ground your light. Get outside. It's summertime. Enjoy the weather. Meditate. Do some meditation in the grass. It'll help, especially if you're over analyzing things or over in your mind. Sometimes just sitting outside really helps. And it awakens you to spirit. It allows you to see things that maybe you didn't see clearly. Where you need to change, things that you need to work on. Maybe you research something, you're like, maybe that'll help me over this obstacle in my life that I've been struggling with. So there is some key information noted here about you opening up and researching things, and it's going to bring you an answer. Okay, we're all in Gemini. We're all here to learn. What's the advice for the collective? What's the advice for the collective? Owl spirit. So owls may be a totem, but owls represent wisdom and being able to see in the night where things are unclear. being able to see through things that are unclear. And this could be doing your research and gathering information as the hunter is here. So again, it comes back to looking into researching, learning about new topics, and gaining the wisdom because you put the work in to learn it. And what does that do? Look, the rainbow bridge. It helps you ascend. It helps you cross over to a different frequency. It helps you get onto alignment. It's like a missing ingredient. All right, guys. If that resonated with you, please hit that like and subscribe. Feel free to comment. Where are you at on this journey as a collective? And what are you doing? And what are you learning? What are you researching? What is pulling your interest? I'm curious to know. I truly am. That's why I came on here and shared my experiences. But yeah, so hit that like and subscribe. I do try to check in with the collective and see where we're at. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, I do tarot readings and oracle readings. So I will see you next time.